Hello, Uganda. Good evening and welcome to Elections Special Debates. My name is Patrick Amara. Tonight in the House we have a presidential candidate. And you know, 8 of them have been crisscrossing the country, trying to woo Ugandans, to dazzle Ugandans, to give them a mandate to be able to lead our country. This is a nation of over 45 million people. They have been moving from Karamoja, up in Karenga, down to Kisoro, from Vura to Virunga, and you know, having their manifesto, reading it to the people, and so that the people can be able to make an informed choice and put them and give them the #1 job in Uganda. And my guest this evening is a member of the Revolutionary Party, Mr. Frank Bulira, a presidential candidate.
Good evening.
There are not many times when you sit with the presidential candidate, but we are honored this evening. We have Mr. Frank Bulira, presidential candidate from the Revolutionary People's Party. Frank Bulira, a warm welcome to you.
Oh, thank you, Bwana Patrick Amara, and thank you, Ugandans, for allowing me to be here.
You know, you were nominated last. I was following all the nominations. You were nominated last. And after every nomination, every candidate would appear before the press, and you try to tell Ugandans why you want to be a leader of this country. I must tell you, I was humbled to see the kind of speech you gave to the Fourth Estate. And I remember I was watching from the newsroom of the National Media Group.
Oh, wow.
And I said, I said, watch this guy. But I have never been in a presidential campaign. I know the rough and tumble of a presidential campaign can be really tough. But so far, what has been the experience of Mr. Frank Bulira?
First and foremost, my name is Salongo Frank Bulira Karenga. I'm the presidential candidate for the Revolutionary People's Party, RPP. This is a party that merged with the Uganda Federal Democratic Organization that was led by the late Dr. Aggrey Kingi, who died 2 years ago in Sydney, Australia.
The Australian cardiologist.
The Australian cardiologist, the one and only late Dr. Aggrey Kingi, who was my mentor. I was his personal assistant for over 15 years, and when he died, our executive sat and accepted that I should take on the mantle. I should keep the legacy of Dr. Aggrey Kingi and keep the flag moving.
So really, this is not your call. You are in the footsteps of Dr. Kingi. This is not about you, is it?
It is my call. Bulira Frank Karenga, I'm a politician. I started way back in the CA. I'm one of the young boys who joined the Uganda Young Democrats under the first generation of the Kakandes, Mabikes, the Mwanga Kivumbis, the Namayanjas. That is the time I joined politics.
CA was in 1994.
1994 when I was in primary.
30 years ago.
Yes, I was one of the...
I mean 30 years ago.
Yes,
I mean, you look 29 yourself.
No, I'm 42.
Okay.
Only that I grow well, but I'm 42. So I was one of the small boys who used to pin Dr. Paul Kawanga's Semogerere's posters by then, those black and white posters. I got inspired to join the Uganda Young Democrats and the Democratic Party by then. In the times of Dr. Paul Kawanga Semogerere, I was groomed by UID. I was the national speaker for Uganda Young Democrats in the second generation of UID, which was led by Susan Abo, though she crossed to NRM. Then from there, when I saw that DP was taking a wrong path, when Aji Sebagala came in and Norbert Mao, when I saw that they were taking DP to NRM, I said, no, I need to look for someone who seriously is looking for a better Uganda, who is genuinely looking for power.
You think those legends of the Democratic Party, the people you looked up to, the people whose posters you are pinning, when they look at Frank Bulira now, you think, are they not turning in their grave, asking themselves, what happened to our boy? In
fact, they are very happy. It doesn't even
disembarking?
It doesn't even start from Dr. Semogerere. It comes way back. This comes from way back from the Nkwangas, as I said, of Uganda Federal Movement, because this is in Uganda we call it Oluyira. This is Oluyira which is moving on from Nkwanga. Andrew Lutakome Kaira, it comes to Dr. Kiza, to Dr. Paul Kawanga Semogerere, the Anthony Wagaba Sekweyamas, then the Besiges come in, the Robert Kyaguranyis, and now me.
Let me, you know, you talk big, and yes, you're a presidential candidate, you ought to talk big.
Yes, sir.
the rough and tumble of a presidential campaign is not for the weaklings.
Sure.
And every time we try to follow presidential candidates, there has been times when they tell us, Frank Bulira, today it is his rest day. I'm wondering, how do you rest
first and foremost,
in such a competitive campaign?
It is not resting, Mr. Kamara. There are two factors. There are two reasons as to why my campaign has been minimal. First and foremost, I know, and every Ugandan who genuinely wants change knows that I'm the only person in this race whom Mr. Museveni is fearing. Number one, I was the personal assistant of Dr. Chiinji. You know that Dr. Chiinji was feared more than even opposition politicians who are sleeping here in Kampala. Machazi was staying thousands and thousands of miles far in Sydney and Canberra. Bulira Frank Kabinga, when the campaign started, I had so many partners. In fact, I had the biggest campaign budget, bigger than the one of Mr. Museveni. I was to conduct a campaign that has never been seen in the last 4 decades in Uganda. First and foremost, my accounts were freezed. My partners, friends of Dr. Chiinji, you know Dr. Chiinji had shares in Emirates and was so much connected in the Gulf. All sultanis who Mr. Museveni knew were called and intimidated not to engage in Uganda's politics unless it is only development.
But wait a minute. Dr. Agre Kiingi, may his soul rest in peace,
yes,
was an individual on his own. Frank Bulira is another individual. Dr. Kiingi is not you.
That shows, since I'm keeping the legacy of Dr. Kiingi, since I was his personal assistant, and he is the only person whom every Ugandan, any sober, change-loving Ugandan knew that would change this country. I think that is the reason as to why I've been feared. I think that is the reason as to why companies like World Remit was closed. It was closed in Uganda because of me. When you check World Remit, it was closed because it is the money link that Dr. Chiinji used to send money in Uganda. My accounts were freezed. Presidents like Hakainde Hichilema, who is my personal friend and was a friend to Dr. Chiinji, was called 3 times that they don't want to see any money coming from Zambia to support my campaign. My T-shirts from China were confiscated. Posters were confiscated. And other candidates are moving freely. That shows that I'm the only person Mr. Museveni is competing with.
But when you speak with a lot of eloquence and gusto, do you really think, and are you convinced, Mr. Frank Bulira,
yes,
that you were in this election to win it?
I would like to take Ugandans way back in the 80s.
With a lot of
yes, you are so right, Mr. Kamara. When Mr. Museveni contested in the race where Dr. Semwogerere and UPC were, Mr. Museveni was like the Frank you are seeing right now. He was the candidate who was seen to be like small or weak. Mr. Museveni didn't have any crowds. In fact, you saw UPM crowds. He had only one MP in Crispus Chiyonga, who was even got accidental after the death of the DP MP candidate in Bukonjo. But at the end, Mr. Museveni became the president, and he has taken us for 40 years.
But you see, he took a different route, because it was not the ballot, it was the bullet
but he
that brought him to power.
Yes. He first participated in the election.
So the revolutionary leader in you, Mr. Bulira, you also want to come up?
You'll be surprised when the little-known Frank Bulira is the next president of Uganda, not the people you are seeing with the crowds
here. You are using Mr. Frank Bulira. When President Museveni failed to make it, in fact, it was a miserable performance, because I think he got 0.7 something percent. He only, I think, beat the Conservative Party.
It is because... It is because he knew what he wanted.
He never continued with the ballot.
Yes,
he continued with the bullet.
There are issues we cannot put here on top, here in the media, and I don't want our good TV to be closed. But I would want to tell you that it is not that we are just prepared for these 3 months. Mr. Byabakama announced that this is the time for campaigns. You move the entire country. Uganda Federal Democratic Organization has existed for more than 15 years. We have structures countrywide, and those are the structures that helped us to collect the signatures. And you see well-known, wealthy leaders fail to collect signatures. We collected signatures. We have structures, only that we have meaningful structures which we can use to change this government. It's not all about having the crowds to take over leadership of this country, of such a country like the state Uganda is in.
So, Frank, Bulira, you are telling Ugandans who are watching tonight that come January 15th, 2026,
I'll be the next president of Uganda. I'll be the next president of Uganda, just as Mr. Museveni told them that I'll be the next president of Uganda. Mr. Obote said that one is just a scout. I'll find him in Ruwera and I'll leave him there. He's a president now going for over 40 years.
So you want to take the Museveni way?
We shall take all constitutional means and legal means to change this government. And it is not that why Ugandans fail to get it. The race to remove Mr. Museveni didn't start 2 months ago. That's why people are saying, we are not seeing you here, we are not seeing you here. That is for people who are in this race ceremoniously. We are not in this race ceremoniously. This is a legacy of Dr. Kiyingi. This is a legacy I inherited, the legacy of the Andrew Takome Kayiras, the legacy of Dr. Kiza Besigye, Dr. Semogerere, the legacy of Honorable Robert Kyagulanyi. It is me now going to the finishing line to finish the struggle that Ugandans started way back 4 decades back.
You know, when you look at the members of parliament who are running for the 499 seats
constituency,
the NRM has filled all of them. When you look at the 146 districts of Uganda, NRM has filled 100%. When you look at all the sub-county leaders, NRM has a person running.
And you know that we don't have a single parliamentary candidate as the RPP. And it is strategic.
Can you imagine?
Yes, we don't have, and we are proud. Our focus is to first remove Mr. Museveni. People are crying people are dying
No, this is a joke.
Yes.
This is what I'm trying to say. It's a joke.
I'll be proved right in the next coming weeks.
Because if you were to win elections and to be sworn in May,
you need a majority MPs.
How do you even run a country?
How many MPs did Mr. Museveni have to become a president?
I have told you.
I know, and I talked to all MPs in NRM, in NUP, and all other parties.
When he first became
they were all cross to me after I take over presidency.
President of the country.
Yes, Mr.
President Yoweri Museveni never used the ballot. He used the bullet. They came shooting, stepping on dead bodies to be able to take power.
Dynamics have changed.
And I don't think that's what you're intending to do.
Dynamics have changed, and Mr. Museveni knows this. We have a lot in stock. It is not only the ways and means used, there are other ways that fit in this century. And I want to tell you that people fighting for parliamentary positions are only now looking for iPod money. There are some other opposition sister parties that already surrendered to Mr. Museveni and say, okay, we can no longer take him on.
Let me, to be honest with you, when you have 499 parliamentary candidates,
yes,
that means they are not only looking for the vote for themselves, but they're also looking for the vote for their presidential candidate.
You're right.
When you have 146 LOC5 chairpersons running to represent a district, that means they're not only looking for a vote for themselves, but also looking a vote for their candidate. Now, who is vouching for you?
I think this one, as Ugandans, we just crammed it that way. I can look for my own votes in doing a smart campaign. I can go door to door individually. I can, like now I'm campaigning, I'm passing on my message and I'm presenting my side vis-a-vis the sides of my other 7 brothers. So, as Bulira Frank, I have a strategy. I've been moving this country border to border from as far as Swam up to Nakapiripit. I've moved this country border to border. I've coordinated Dr. Kiyingi's programs, UIDDP programs. I know all change-loving Ugandans in every district and constituency. I know people who are just money-minded, and you can base on them. Right now you are seeing people crossing from every day, especially in far country districts. People from NUP, parliamentary aspirant candidates crossing to NRM. We didn't want to be proud of that. We didn't position candidates because we even didn't have enough time to screen them. Actually, we didn't want to fall in the trap.
You keep saying you didn't, you don't. But honestly, you look like a one-man army.
You may, like, Mr. Patrick, I love that, because many Ugandans in the last over 7 years used to say, but Dr. Kiyingi and has only one person, Bulira Frank, is the only person we hear of talking about Dr. Kiyingi. Then afterwards, we saw hundreds and hundreds of Ugandans being locked up in Nalufenya and other prisons, being said that they are supporters of Dr. Kiyingi. For us, we are doing our things differently, and that is why Mr. Museveni is fearing us. We are not going to fall into the, if Mr. Museveni had followed the straight line of Paulo Mwanga and Obote, up to now we would have been in Luwero looking for power. Yes, we respect the laws of this country, but as a party, we also have our plan. Our plan is a priority, then the Electoral Commission program follows. We have a plan as a party. I'm keeping the legacy of the plan and the plan of Dr. Kiyingi, the vision he had for a new Federal Democratic Republic of Uganda. Then the program of the Electoral Commission comes in. People are saying they are not seeing me. But no Ugandan doesn't know that Mr. Museveni has to go. This is the same message all other candidates are now passing on, border to border. So I will not go and sing the same message Honorable Kyagulanyi has done. Honorable Kyagulanyi is doing very well as far as galvanizing Ugandans and bringing the crowds. Then I'm coming in as the solution who is going to turn these crowds into presidency, who is going to deliver these crowds to State House. Because there are three different things. You can have the support, then winning the election is something different. Then after winning the election, how are you going to protect the people's vote and the people's victory? Then afterwards, how are you going to consolidate power so that you are not kicked out, you are not a 60 days president like Yusuf Lule? So that is where Bulira Frank comes in. I may not be seen with the crowds, I may not be seen with MPs, but I'm proud because I know where we are going. We started this struggle more than 15 years ago. We didn't start it 2 months ago when the nominations started. People who started this struggle 2 months ago are the people who are just fighting for iPod money. Let's have many MPs in parliament so that we get a big share of iPod money. We are not looking for iPod money. We want to remove Mr. Museveni. When we have presidency as a party and other parties, we can well enjoy in a democratic federal New Uganda, than being given a share by Mr. Museveni. It sounds funny, Mr. Kamara.
Mr. Bulira, you can sit there and make a lot of points and make sense. I know you're making sense, but then you also run a risk of making sense to yourself. Because if you don't, because perception matters. When you are in Akapiripiriti and you have all these people from Karamoja come to receive you, when you are like yesterday, but one, the Honorable Robert Kyagulanyi was in Fort Portal in my home city, and I could hear my fellow Batoro shouting Arali, Arali, and they gave me a petty name of Arali,
But
perception matters.
I've been in Fort Portal, I'm giving it as an example. I've been in Fort Portal as far as Bunyangabu, Ntoroko, up to Bundibujo in Nyahuka. I've been there before far more than him. Me, I reach in the households, not just on the streets and doing the rallies. I know the people who can cause change. And those are the people I meet. It's not that I don't respect.
How many households are you going to knock on?
And I don't,
how many doors
even if I go in a district and I have one genuine supporter, this one supporter will mobilize 5. The 5, each of the 5 will mobilize more 5, and that is how they build a revolution. We've seen this politics of crowds. I'm not against it, but we've been in it. We have had it. Dr. Semogere had crowds in 1996. Dr. Kiza Besigye had crowds for the 3 times he contested, but he didn't deliver us to Canaan. He didn't take us to State House. So we, as the opposition, we had to come back on the drawing board and say, how are we going to strategize and use these crowds? And we use the crowds to go to power. I want to tell you, my brother, that Mr. Museveni is not even scared of the crowds. What Mr. Museveni is scared of are people like Dr. Kiyingi, are people like me, who have the capacity of using the crowds to deliver change to Ugandans, not the people with the crowds.
Interesting. And I'm saying this with a lot of respect again. Mr. Bulira, you have told yourself so many lies, and you have reached a point of even believing them. And you know what you know you're not going to win, but you have told yourself you're going to win. And in your conscience, you have even believed it.
I'm not in this race accidentally, unfortunately. I'm not in this race. In fact, if Dr. Kiyingi or Dr. Kiza Besigye had been, one of the two had been in this race, I wouldn't have contested. I majorly contested because I know nearly each and every, I'm not trying to talk bad against my brothers, but I know each one of the seven the seven others I'm contesting with, in and out. I know each one's ambitions and a vision for Uganda. There are those who really genuinely want a peace, a better Uganda, but they have no means, or their chances elapsed. There are those who have the might and the blessing of God and the people, but they are not ready to cross and take us there. So I know with the contacts, the network, and all at hand, I can deliver this country.
So you I don't know whether you're a very spiritual man. You believe in divine power, that when people go into the booth, there will be some kind of a spiritual move that will make them tick Bulira, some kind of an epiphany that will come over their heads, and then instead of looking at Chagulanyi or Yoweri Museveni, they'll come to Bulira.
And mind you, I'm number one on the ballot paper, and it's not by accident. These things.
So you think there's going to be some kind of spiritual power that will make people?
Yes, leadership comes from God.
When it is in that booth, they will change.
I know Ugandans will tick.
An epiphany will happen, and then they will tick you.
Ugandans are going to tick the person who will be number one on the ballot paper, and that will be me with the symbol of the lion. That mighty symbol of the lion that is going to deliver Uganda to the new Federal Democratic Republic of Uganda by 15th January next year. I believe, Mr. Kamara, we've been in this. The only problem is that Ugandans are so fixed in the politics of, I call it Karamoja, Bwechali, Bwechiriba. We are with people who have just joined this struggle 3 or 5 years ago. We've been in this, I may not say for so long, but quite longer than some of our colleagues. And we know what we are doing. We know what it takes to win an election. For instance, I have my company, FB Consult South Africa. We were in the campaigns of President Hakainde Hichilema in Zambia. We know whatever we did, besides these open things of Uganda vote, to make sure that the long-term opposition leader Hakainde Hichilema becomes president.
But do you know,
and Edgar Lungu loses, accepts
Hakainde Hichilema was in the fight for quite some time.
Yes, just like, in fact, he suffered more than even Dr. Besigye did.
You cannot compare what he went through.
But the suffering alone could not create sympathy to automatically make him president. There are so many things that were done that as the opposition he has not done.
Hichilema was in the trenches for many years.
Kabisa. He was.
So HH being in power right now.
The dictatorship of Edgar Lungu was equal to the one of Mr. Museveni right now here. But we had to do so many things in the background to make sure that Edgar Lungu, who said even openly that even if you vote me out, I won't hand over power. But we had so many things we did in order to Edgar Lungu to accept. For instance, you cannot even dream of taking over power here in Uganda or replacing Mr. Museveni. When even just near in the Great Lakes region, you don't have even 3 or 4 presidents who know you, not just hearing about you, but whom you can sit with and you talk issues. We need people who will come after Mr. Museveni rigging the election, the vote, who will come out and talk to their fellow elder, that Mr. Museveni, leka akalulu k'omwana. If you don't have even 2 or 3 heads of states around here, not even in East Africa, you are wasting your time and the people's time.
So you're banking on Hichilema?
Not only Hichilema. There are so many. I'm just giving it to you as an example. In Malawi, when Reverend Lazarus Chakwera was coming into power, he was also my friend, the outgoing president of Malawi. We were in his campaign. There are so many things we did at the back. Malawi had Mr. Mutharika had a similar network like the one of Mr. Museveni, whereby the army commander, the CDF, was in his hands. So when the chairman electoral commission was going to announce, he said, I'm going to announce the rightful winner, who is Reverend Chakwera. Then Mutharika told the CDF to instruct and they take over in case the chairman electoral commission announces the opposition candidate. There are things that we had prior done, and the CDF had to concede and instruct all police to take all their guns to the next police stations. And the president then, who had all the powers, was surprised to see the chairman of the electoral commission, whom he appointed himself, like Mr. Museveni appointed Byabakama, announcing Reverend Chakwera. It didn't come accidentally. These are some of the things we've been doing in the background, that even if Mr. Byabakama is appointed by Mr. Museveni, there are things that we can do that I cannot put you on air, but we've done and prepared that Mr. Byabakama will have to announce the rightful winner. And if it is me, Ugandans cannot expect or wait for any disappointments like banange buli omwagumye munne banange let's go to court y'abantu. If I'm the rightful winner by 15th, expect Mr. Byabakama to announce me. If you don't vote me and you trust people who cannot protect your victory.
You see, in Africa, there's a saying about the cock or the hen. On top of that, it has the red thing. And always deceive the other hens that, you know what, I'm always carrying fire. Until one brave hen decided to touch it and he realized the thing was as cold as ice. so Bulira is telling us you have fire, you can burn. But the truth is...
What showed that I have the fire? Why am I the only candidate? In fact, after the NTV presidential debate, we got some, my social handles were blocked, my WhatsApps were intercepted, and one of my phone was stolen. You know, there are so many data things that have been done to me, directed and indirected, to make sure that my campaign doesn't go ahead, my message doesn't reach Ugandans. But thanks to NTV that the presidential debate was watched by more than 10 million people, but have been suppressed. Yes, other candidates are facing problems, but to me, I know Mr. Museveni is just trying to control so that people who genuinely want power don't use those crowds to take over power. But I'm the most feared candidate, and that is why they are blocking all my ways. They have blocked my accounts. They have confiscated my T-shirts, my posters, my funds. They have intimidated my funders. They are partners and friends of Dr. Kiyingi. There is Dr. Semugenyi is the only person I will talk about, because at least he has even tried to go to court. 6 accounts of him in DFC were freezed just because they are seeing billions of money and they are seeing a connection of him and me, and he was a friend to Dr. Kiyingi. They even took over forcibly his condominium houses in Muyenga and Kololo just because of this campaign. So I've been crippled. That shows that this red thing on my hand is burning and it has the fire.
That's what you believe?
That's what it is.
You don't have structures. You know, structures are important.
You're right.
You don't have structures. As we speak now, you don't have, lieutenants who are fighting for you, who should be somewhere in Karenga, they should be somewhere in Kisoro,
in Kenya, moving here and there.
Because
one thing Dr. Kiyingi taught me,
you're not going to see that
was protection of our foot soldiers and fighters and cadres. But during the times when we are so active, even when one of our cadre was arrested, Dr. Kiyingi could halt everything until we saved that fighter. So we happened not to put all our cards on the table. And that is what has made us to be feared most.
Okay.
There are parties, for instance, there is a time when we had the P, was it called P10, P something?
Yes.
When Dr. Besigye introduced it. It was a good strategy. When every village, every parish, there is a network of 10, but unknowingly, he was just easing work for Mr. Museveni. For him, he could just sit in State House, and they summon team by team, structure by structure. They give them money, and at the end of the day, the structure didn't help. Uganda cannot be saved up by structures. We shall put up better structures after taking over power. If Mr. Museveni had first concentrated on building structures of UPM, up to now we would be looking for power. We shall make up the structures of RPP after taking over power. We cannot build up solid and realistic structures in such a state.
Take us through what kind of economy RPP would want to build for Uganda.
First and foremost, Uganda is an agriculture-based economy. When you're looking at the economy of Uganda, boosting it or taking it far, first and foremost, we have to sit and see what is most contributing to our economy. First and foremost, boosting agriculture. If you revive the cooperatives, if you put in place the farmers' banks like we have in our manifesto, the 15 proposed federal states making up Uganda, if we have those farmers' banks giving affordable loans and inputs, agricultural inputs to farmers, automatically our economy will be, like Honorable Matia Kasai just said, it will be automatic when we boost agriculture. There is no reason as to why we export. We just take raw materials out of Uganda, like for instance, cocoa. We have a lot of cocoa in Ntoroko, in Bundibujo, as far as in Nyahuka, but people there are eating poverty on breakfast and supper. Poverty is evident on people's faces in all those areas. But we would have a factory that is producing ready cocoa, ready for export, and we make value addition, as Mr. Museveni always says.
A few days back, President Museveni promised to build a chocolate factory in Bundibujo.
But yeah, he has been making all those promises all year after year. For instance, in the recent PDM, you saw him moving. I know a group in Karere when he was in Kawempe division. There are boys who went to Karere and bought goats. Then they brought them to him that these are the goats we've been rearing out of the money you've been giving us in PDM. Likewise, there are so many fake carpentry workshops. People went and bought beds. These are the projects. So these are all fake programs. That's why in a way of boosting the country's economy, we are also looking at scrapping these Operation Wealth Creation, PDM, all those fake programs which have not helped Uganda.
Are you sure that the parish development model has not worked for people in the villages where they come from?
You're telling
us that Frank Bulira, you want to come and erase parish development model, and that is going to make you a popular person?
When you look, when you hear about the word parish development model, and you hear about the amounts of monies Mr. Museveni was saying to allocate on every parish, for every parish, yes, really it sounds good. But realistically, it has not worked. It has been evident on all the rallies Mr. Museveni was on during the PDM tour. People were coming and saying that they were on NRM cadres, RDCs, and people close to the RDCs and ministers who were controlling and embezzling that money. If the money wasn't embezzled.
There are very many testimonies, Mr. Bulira, of people who received the money and it is changing their lives. You know, when you get 100 million in every parish, across
and how
Uganda,
many people are in a parish?
Across Uganda. Yeah, but you have to start somewhere. I'm not a regime apologist, but I can also see where something has worked. Because there are policies and programs of government where you say this one has worked.
Yeah, you're so right, Mr. Kamara.
There's a policy and a practice. There's a policy of parish development model.
The policy is good, but it failed to work. It failed to be implemented just because it was politicized. It was being conducted by cadres of NRM. Many people were not beneficiaries.
So if you are to take away PDM,
we are bringing
replace it with what?
We are bringing in the Federal Economic Empowerment Program, which is going to equitably help the youth especially and the young women to get jobs. For us, we are looking on bringing the jobs closer to where the people are. We don't want people to continue coming to Kampala looking for a safe avenue and looking for a better tomorrow. Someone can be someone from Nakapiripirit can come to Moroto, which is the capital of the Karamoja federal state, and he really enjoys life there. Like someone in UAE can be in the state of Ajimani or Umalukuwain, and he doesn't even need to come to Dubai unless he's just coming to visit. All the services are there.
But you know, the federal system of governance was shot down in the making of the constitution. It could have been finished within the constitution making process. And the person who actually determined that the federal system was not going to work was a prince in Buganda Kingdom.
Besweri Mulondo, everyone who knows that Besweri Mulondo was... all people know what happened to Besweri Mulondo. People even went and started caning his graves for burying the dream which would have made this Uganda. And the one thing about Federal, President Museveni tried to taint Federal as a Buganda thing. That Federal means Baganda seceding or chasing people from Uganda.
Mind that the person who probably put the last nail in the coffin
was
of
a
the federal system was not just a mere Muganda, was a prince.
A prince. Yeah, Mr. Museveni is very smart with such politics.
So you cannot know these things better than a prince of Buganda.
Not really, not really, not really. Everyone knows that Besweri Mulondo was compromised to hit Federal. Odochi's report came out showing that Ugandans want federal. When you look at reports from, like the one that was made by Frederick Ebert Steve Tank and Konrad Adenauer's Foundation, they were all showing that majority of Ugandans accept that we should go regional, and every region gets its own regional government. While the central government also exists, let the big share of resources coming from different areas remain there to develop the areas. There's no reason as to why the gold-rich Karamoja doesn't have an a gold refinery.
All right.
The refineries are in Korora and Muyenga. We should have the gold refineries in Kasanda and in Karamoja.
Frank Bulira, presidential candidate from the Revolutionary People's Party. Hold on to your point because we're going to take a break and the special debate. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Welcome back. You're watching Election Special Debates. My name is Patrick Amara. My guest tonight is the presidential candidate, Mr. Frank Bulira. Frank, you know, many Ugandans also credit Museveni for the kind of stability that this country has enjoyed for almost 40 years. And we live in a very volatile region. The Great Lakes region is not very easy. If you look, our brothers and sisters in the north, in South Sudan, in fact, they have given us more refugees than any other country. Even beyond South Sudan, Sudan itself is in turmoil, Central Africa, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Somalia, and all these places. And many believe President Museveni is the safe hands to be able to navigate this volatile region. And he has a record to show. So, and the people who are older understand what they went through for quite some time, and they don't want to get back into that kind of tumultuous Uganda. So how do you go past that kind of record?
Yes, there is a record of President Museveni, like our fathers and grandfathers used to say that we now sleep. Mr. Museveni brought us peace and we can sleep. But Mr. Museveni is so tricky that he can create a problem so that you run to him for a solution to finish that problem. He's so tricky that, yes, there has been some stability in some areas that were unstable, but let us go back. What caused the instability? What caused the instabilities in Karamoja, in Mukula, Soroti? What caused the instabilities of northern Uganda? Yes, you are coming to create stability. But who brought instability? Who went to the bush in Ruwero Triangle? Say you are coming as a savior, but who caused the problems? In South Sudan, I have so many friends in South Sudan. They are crying day by day that Mr. Museveni is like, he came to bring peace for us, but instead, anyway, I cannot go deep in that, but many people are crying across the region. Others may be here says, like recently you saw in Tanzania, when people, I have no proof on it, people saying that it is not Tanzania forces which are crushing people here in Dar es Salaam.
I think now you're moving, you've swallowed a lot of conspiracy theories. It's
being realistic.
Yeah,
but Mr. Museveni, for starters, really,
before he came to power, the Congolese were suffering with a man called Mobutu Sese. They had trouble for all along.
Yes.
Before he became president, President Julius Nyerere was talking about the issues of Eastern Congo. The Banyamulenge were having issues. They still do. Before he came to power.
So if we are to credit, we would have credited him.
He never brought the chaos.
He never brought the chaos, but we are seeing Congolese up to now still crying and cursing after being killed by M23 and other forces. There was Arendos and other forces in DRC. So
I just want to tell you that the issue of the M23 marginalization of some Congolese in South Kivu, in the areas of Mulenge, started way back.
So if he was a savior, at least he would have contributed on taming them, on taming the death in Congo. Every week we have to get dozens of Congolese dying.
You do not believe that General Museveni has contributed to the peace and stability of this country? that the UPDF has not held this country together for quite some time, something that we have not witnessed for a long time.
It is
to have
like,
like 40 years of relative peace.
It's like a mother giving birth to a baby, and afterwards the mother steps on the baby and kills the baby. Yes, it is good you've produced, but you are now killing your baby. Yes, Mr. Museveni may say that he brought peace and sanity, but in the long run is now spoiling the good he had done. Initially, he had done good, and people were praising him. There was a time when you were saying that I'm opposition. People would see you on the whole village as a curse. You are against Mr. Museveni, who brought peace. But afterwards, people started disappearing. There's no way you will tell the people of Rukungiri that your son, Samu Mugumya, who is lost up to now, and you tell them that Mr. Museveni brought peace. There is no way you will tell families of the foot soldiers who were arrested during the last presidential campaign, who are rotting in Chitali and other prison. There is no way you will tell them and convince them. They are cynical women's families and kids. You won't tell them that Mr. Museveni is God, is an angel.
So now what would be your policy, the foreign policy for Uganda?
First of all, on the foreign policy, I will say it is basically first looking on the security and military line. Mr. Museveni has driven this country to an age where our army is seen as warmongering. Yes, even if, let's say we are taking peace there, but why we? Malawi has Malawi Defense Forces, but it doesn't go in useless wars. I will first of all engage the UPDF in only meaningful wars, and after sanction of the Uganda's parliament, not the sanction of me as the commander-in-chief and my CDF. We are becoming a problem to the entire, not only East African region, but Great Lakes region as a country. So we need to do a lot regarding the foreign policy. Before we even look at the bigger things, we have to first try and see how we bring back the hearts of our brothers and sisters in the neighboring countries. Because they are all looking at every Ugandan. Me, I travel a lot to everywhere you go. When they say Uganda, oh, you Museveni, you are bringing your Museveni politics here. You know, we have to first bring back sanity in the region. We have to bring back the Uganda that our forefathers, the Musazis, dreamt of. We have to first make sure that Uganda's name and image are polished in the entire universe, not only even in the region. So when you go to UAE, they know Uganda. Oh, Idi Amin. Oh, then after you have a long-serving Museveni, why aren't you removing him? Two things about Uganda. Yet Uganda has so many other good things.
So, but the same people will commend Yoweri Museveni for the stability in Somalia. Will commend Yoweri Museveni,
yes,
for the support in
South
Sudan.
You're right.
Commend Yoweri Museveni for welcoming the refugees. We have more refugees than any other country in the continent.
But you well know that refugees it's a business. Yeah, government is being given a lot of money to cater for those refugees, and it is taking a big percentage.
We wouldn't be having over 1.5 million refugees, African refugees, in this country, if the security groups in this country had not put the country together.
There are refugees from Sudan, Khartoum, who are flooding UAE, and they are peaceful, just as Somalis and Eritreans are here. Me, I know that there are refugees who are here for commercial reasons, because government is getting a lot of money on every head. And there are even plans that when time comes and all Ugandans don't want Mr. Museveni, these people have national IDs. Since they know they are living here on his mercy, he has a vote to start with. So we are looking at this issue of refugees, saying that it is because of stability. There are also other stable countries. Malawi is very stable. It has never had even a civil war. But they are refugees, of course, but not big numbers like they are here, because they are not looking at economizing the issue of refugees it is here.
So you'd want to send them back in an area where they are running from?
Not really. Refugees who are running away from danger have to be protected, like the international laws do protect them. But Uganda's case of refugees has a lot of other hidden things I don't want to go into.
Uganda's refugee policy is commended world over.
Yes, you may say that.
If you have 2,000 people now appear on the, on the shores of UK and they want to enter the United Kingdom, it would be big news. But you know what? Right now, people are coming in from Bunagana. They're coming up from Vura. They're entering in tens of thousands.
Yeah, it's good, but we cannot praise that if government cannot protect Ugandans, indigenous Ugandans, and it is praising itself on the refugees. Yes, we want the refugees, but priority of the Ugandans, priority of taking care of people would be on the indigenous Ugandans. Then the refugees follow. Yes, we respect them. We respect the international laws and treaties, but the priority has to be Ugandans. Day by day, people are being stolen. Butayimbwas are still existing. People are being shot by thieves, by security. But insecurity is all over in the different districts, so making up Uganda. So and you cannot say that because the refugees are safe, so Uganda is safe.
If you have to be a commander-in-chief, how would you want to deal with the military?
First and foremost, I would want to demilitarize the police force. I'm starting with the police force because it was militarized. I'm going to change the name of Uganda Police Force to Uganda Police Service. Police is supposed to be a service, not a force. Like in other countries, we are going to change the police force into a service so that we bring back sanity into our police. In other countries, you can move for a full month without even seeing a military officer or police. We are going to digitalize security. This business of President Museveni, roads being closed in Bwaise and other areas because Mr. Museveni is now dressing up in Entebbe. In the next 3 hours, he'll be setting off to Nakasero. People lose their businesses. Border guys get beaten and bruised because the president is coming. I'm going to change that. I will be driving myself sometimes. Idi Amin used to drive himself. President Paul Kagame drives himself in Kigali in his Range Rover. Sheikh Al Maktoum in UAE doesn't have a convoy. He drives himself. Security is digital. You no longer need to move with the trucks of soldiers to show that you are very well protected. That politics of showbiz is going to end on 15th January. We are going to make sure that military security and our military is honoring the barracks. We want to see that security officers and police and security officers, their families also be catered for. Their kids, the children of officers, abana babalwanyi, be well catered for. I'm a grandson of Emurwanyi. My grandfather, Militon Kabinga Balwana, was a host of the 7th Battalion in Chiwanguzi, Damasco. So I know what it means. Children of soldiers have to equally get free education, plus school requirements and better housing facilities. Tanzania, I was in Tanzania 4 months ago, and the President Suruhu is implementing a program of Magufuli where they are having better housing facilities for police and the military. I looked at the apartments and I thought they were B&Bs. I thought they were furnished apartments or hotel apartments until they told me that these are apartments for police officers. Tanzania is just a few miles from here. Their military is not the best, but at least you see that they are living a better life. Sometimes even security officers beat up people here just because of hunger, just because of what they go through. We want a police officer to get minimally $500 from the central government and a weekly allowance from the federal government where they would be working.
You've promised quite a lot.
Your
manifesto
part.
has a lot of flowery language.
It is just part because of time.
Your manifesto has quite a lot of flowery language, isn't it?
No. We have the best manifesto. Others are just saying, let Mr. Museveni go, but they are not showing us a Uganda after Mr. Museveni.
Take us through how you'd want to change the education system in Uganda. Yeah,
the education system, I think we have all just been talking about it rhetorically. We need to change and make up a system that is going to empower both the graduates and the semi-skilled, semi-educated, because the current education system is just training someone, gafla, that go and get a degree, then go to the street, fight with the streets. After failing to get a job, go to Saudi Arabia, you become a kadama, start sweeping roads in Dubai. So which is not bad because people are looking for a living. But our education system is majorly not building Ugandans. We want, under our federal economic empowerment program, in fact, we are planning to go more vocational. There is no reason as to why countries like China are concentrating on trying to build the skills of their citizens than just training them Gwafula, go and study the amoeba, Foster switching and all other. Yes, they are not useless, but they have to be useful to those students that are in that line. But I want to go more vocational. But you know now, right now, we have a lot of vocational institutions that have been built. Yes. For instance, there is even the Presidential Initiative Program. But it was also being spoiled. It is being run, I think, directly by the Office of the President. But after youth being trained, someone is given a hair dryer of 150,000. What is an hair dryer going to make you, to help you to get rich? She will end up selling it and getting money to survive and get something to eat. We want to have a plan after this vocational training. All these things you're talking right now, yes, and the plans that you have, I don't know how much of the country have you been able to cover? Nearly all districts. I've been there before this campaign. Leave alone these people who think that you can cover Uganda in 2 months. Me have been to all corners of Uganda. I have structures of Dr. Kiyingi in every district, and I've traveled, and I'm very contented. That's why Ugandans will be surprised on the 15th. Yes, you believe? 15th is the end of the game. And I urge all Ugandans who are change-loving, not just to support me for the sake, but just to vote for me, because I'm the only person who's not just contesting ceremoniously to contest with Mr. Museveni, but I'm in this race for a purpose and for a mission of taking forward the legacy of Dr. Kiyingi. I'm in this race, a race which was started by Nkwanga, Kayira, Dr. Semogerere, Dr. Kizza Besigye, then he gave the stick to Honorable Kyagulanyi, then I'm taking over the stick from Honorable Kyagulanyi, and I go to the finishing line. It is the only me who has the plan that is going to make Honorable Byabakama to declare the rightful leader. As you speak all these, and I'm envisioning that a Bulira has been elected and it's supposed to be sworn in sometime in May 2026. And then you go to Parliament, where you not even have a single MP. By that time, they will have already crossed to me. You go to but how? Because I'm talking to all MPs in NRM. You can only cross 1 year towards when you're remaining with 1 year to end your term. We shall cross that river when we reach there. How do you even govern a President Bulira without a single MP, without a single chairman LC5, without a single sub-county chairman? You know some of these things you're talking. Yes, they are parties inside their whole lot. There are parties that have MPs. In fact, there was a time when we had a belief. Frank, your name is Frank. Bulira. Yes, I'm Frank. That I'm taking. I'm taking this on. That's why Ugandans. Frank, I want you to be frank with the people of Uganda. Yes, Mr. Kamara. What exactly is your game plan? Sorry? What exactly do you want? Are you seeking in this arrest? The only reason why a few people like you, Mr. Kamara, see that I'm seeing things differently is because there are a few people. We are in this divided into two. There are people contesting just for the sake. Let's finish. And the rest, God will decide. Then there are Ugandans who say, let's contest with Mr. Museveni, then we take over power. The only difference with me and where some people fail to understand me is that I'm not just contesting for showbiz. I'm contesting to totally change this country and take over presidency. You're going to overwhelm the system with Let's first remove Mr. Museveni, the rest will sort itself. Because there was a time when I was in DP, we said, you know what, in order to weaken Mr. Museveni, let's have as many mayors. That is the time when Haji Sebagala came, then Dr. Sebana Kizito. We said, let's have many councillors. At the end, we saw all councillors going to State House to meet Museveni. DP councillors selling toilets to Hassan Basajja Balaba. DP councillors selling land in Kampala. We said, what is this? But they told us, when we have many councillors and many MPs, we are going to remove Mr. Museveni. In the long run, we saw all MPs, the Maria Mutagambas, the others, many crossing, and others remaining in DP, but playing with Mr. Museveni. So, until we saw that this is useless, if Mr. Museveni had concentrated on first building UPM and making sure that UPM gets 200 MPs, up to now he will be in Ruwero looking for power. That is why there are parties, opposition parties, sister parties, that have many MPs, but they have not taken over presidency. Let's first sort presidency, then the rest will sort itself.
I want to thank you very much, Mr. Frank Bulira, first of all, for your courage, for your energy.
Most welcome.
And I'm sure you're very passionate about Uganda. Some of these things you say, some people may disagree with you. It's not that because...
Yeah, it's their inherent...
But I'm sure you say them because you love your country more.
Very true.
And I want to give you an opportunity to make your concluding remarks, some kind of an elevator pitch.
Yes. Yeah, dear Ugandans, I take this so important because I'm the candidate who nominated last. I passed through a lot to be nominated. I'm the candidate, secondary, who is #1 on the ballot paper with our symbol of the lion. I'm the candidate who has been denied most chances to move in this country because government fears a lot the message reaching to the people. When someone doesn't have a message, Mr. Museveni will leave him to go. I have a message which is going to change this country. Yes, we are all good, but we are looking for someone who is going to deliver this country. We are looking for someone who is going to remove Mr. Museveni, and not only removing him, but also to prepare a Uganda after Mr. Museveni. That is why we are looking at federal as the new system of governance, which is going to take this country forward. It doesn't help, even if you vote me, or even if you vote someone else and he becomes president and we don't change the system of governance, we shall have wasted our time and energy. So I call upon dear Ugandans to back me and support the RPP. We are here for the genuine change we are yearning for. I'm the person who doesn't want us to regret. We have made enough regrets and cries as the opposition. I believe that Mr. Museveni can be the next leader of opposition if he still wants to continue being in politics. Some of our friends are proud of being leaders of opposition. They're even fighting, I should be the next leader of opposition. I'm not fighting to be the next leader of opposition. I'm not fighting for iPod money. I want to change this country. The money issues will sort themselves. That is why I thank Ugandans, I thank NTV for giving me this opportunity to address Ugandans on this forum. Thank you so much, Mr. Patrick Kamara. I'm so grateful as Frank Bulira and the entire Revolutionary People's Party. We know we are going to carry the day because we are the people that have been long awaited from 1995-96 when Dr. Paul Kawanga Semogere contested. He ignited this, and I'm finishing this on the 15th of January 2026.
Frank Bulira from the Revolutionary People's Party, the presidential candidate. You have seen him and you have heard him. Now you know a little bit about his message and you know the man. It's up to you, the people of Uganda. And some of you, he'll be coming to a place near you or even to your home to dazzle you, to ask you for the mandate to lead. It's up to you to make your informed decision. Yeah. But what I know, Frank Bulira is passionate about Uganda. I don't know what your assessment is, but that is entirely your choice to make. Come January 15th, we shall be getting other presidential candidates one at a time so that you, the people, can be able to listen to them and hear them directly. Good night, and God bless Uganda. Thank you.